Attention, attention staff. Board meeting will begin momentarily. Look busy and stay quiet. Human resources is on the warpath. The wood chippers and man cannons are prepped and ready to go. The compound will be secured until the conclusion of the meeting. Good luck out there, NPCs. May God have mercy on your pitiful souls. If any of us still have souls. I present to you the board members.
I am the founder of this organization, Non-Player Character Incorporated, NPC Inc. for the stupid. It's my passion project, churning out mindless human analogs to occupy key positions in government, business, and entertainment. Why? To facilitate my vision of the new world order. I am known simply as the Director. Joining me are my executives. Tom, my CTO, CIO, COO, Systems Architect, Head of R&D, and Chris, my CFO, President of Human Resources, and CCO. What you are about to hear are highly classified internal board meetings. Welcome to the boardroom. Have a seat. Don't touch anything, especially not that beige button.
Hey, where's Tom?
I banished him to the Amazon.
Why?
We've got the sniffles, and he's checking on a cure for me.
But I don't think Sniffles has a cure. Why did you send him?
Have you seen the spiders there? I'm not going.
That's a fair point.
Plus, I'm pretty sure there are still pterodactyls there. Anyway, what did you want to talk about?
DLC, downloadable conolingus. No, bullshit that gets added into games, and why most of the time that makes me angry. But before we get into that, what have you been up to?
Well, not much of anything. Mainly sick.
No, today we're going to be mostly bitching about DLC and video games, and I guess praising people who occasionally get it right.
Well, when does it become a cash grab over an extension or more enjoyment of the game?
When it's you paying for extra lives or to do fatalities easier, or...
That was a thing.
Well, the fatalities one or the extra lives one?
The extra lives one is a thing. That I know. But the fatalities, it used to be like up, down, left, right, A, B.
You can buy easy fatality tokens. You can get them for free, too, by doing random shit in most Mortal Kombats, but you can also pay for them. So you only have to hit a button. And yes, you can just hit, L1, triangle, left, right, whatever the fuck the button combination is. Because most of them are super easy. And if you don't have them unlocked, you could just Google what the buttons are and they'll do it for you anyway. Or, again, pay to have it unlocked.
That's a crock of shit. You should have to unlock them like before.
No, I think if you know what it is, you shouldn't have to unlock it. Like, if I figured it out in my game, I should be able to do it in your game. It's not my fault you suck.
Maybe. I like suffering.
Yeah, and then, when it's fucking stupid add-ons, like, okay, again, we'll go to Mortal Kombat because right now they're pissing me off. They have seasonal content, right, with Invasion, where you fight a certain boss and unlock costumes. Now, you can maybe get one costume that kind of looks cool from that, but the rest are really jank, shitty, different color ones. And then all the cool costumes they put in the store for money, because why would you get anything for free? Which, don't get me wrong, I get that, like, they want to make money and they, selling them or whatever. But not all the good ones should be from that, At least the main character should have a fucking cool one for the season or something.
That definitely is when it's a cash grab. All the cool armor, all the cool everything winds up in the cash shop.
Fighting games would do that for a while, though. Soul Calibur was bad at that, too. With all the cool armor, just a shit ton of it being like, hey, give us money. Bro, like 2 games ago, all this shit was free.
Yeah, I stopped playing before they added in the cash shop.
They pissed me off, too, with fucking Tira being DLC in the last one.
We talked about that. She was already, like, in the game.
Street Fighter's worse with that shit, though. But yeah, Street Fighter will be like, hey, remember that character that's been in every game since this one? $5 now.
I knew it.
You motherfucker.
All right. So here, why don't we do this? I don't know what the actual definition for downloadable content is. That seems kind of self-explanatory to me.
I'm gonna say, I guess anything that you have to download that's not on the disc, that's not just like an update.
Okay, fair. Yeah, I guess that's fair. It gets thrown around and colloquially used as like anything you could pay for after the original game is launched.
Yeah, I guess technically it doesn't have to be paid for. It could be free.
That's true.
I've gotten free DLC that was good. Sometimes they don't suck.
The only time I think I've purchased 2 or 3 skin packs or color packs, whatever, in games, and the rest, if I had them, I've gotten them for free because I refuse to pay for that shit.
I mean, it really depends on what it is. Sometimes they make really good shit, man. Fucking Dead Cells has been putting out DLC for I don't even know how many years. I know it's coming to an end. That's why I wanted to bring it up.
Yeah, but is Dead Cells doing... No, Dead Cells is adding to the actual game. They're not actually...
Yeah, what I'm saying. Good DLC. I was on the end of good DLC, right?
Fair enough. So
ping-ponged.
Kind of the DLC that we want to focus on is expanding the game, not just changing the color of the character.
Yeah, I'm looking at their list of DLC right now. I want to say I don't know, what was this? Say everyone brought at least new levels, new weapons, and bosses. Changed the mechanics a little bit, except for maybe one of them. I'm not sure what this is. Oh, it was free anyway, so fuck it.
There you go, free. That's my favorite kind.
The rest of them, were paid, and they're like $5 a piece. That might be too much. I don't think it was. I enjoyed Dead Cells, but exactly, if you're adding to the game and the experience, it can be welcome, especially if it's a completely different zone or different story or not just some bullshit you withheld from the game to make more money.
Well, that seems to be what a lot of it is these days. That
yes.
3/4, if you're lucky, game comes out, and then the rest is $70 worth of DLC 6 months after the fact. Sometimes even longer.
The entire idea for this episode, by the way, is just so I can bitch about one specific game.
Yeah.
Because I was at work bitching about it because we only got onto it, and I just want to talk about it. The name of the game is Azora's Wrath, which I think came out for the 360 and maybe other things.
I didn't know that name.
Weird ass game that is part beat 'em up, mostly a kind of bullet hell, I guess, or like whatever those fucking weird airplane games are. But you're not in an airplane; you're just shooting missiles. It's about an angry demigod that gets fucked off. None of this is important.
Yep, I do know this.
The part that pisses me off is that so when you beat the game, it's like go get S rank or whatever the arbitrary grade is on all the levels to continue. I happen to have been close enough. I was like, all right, I got to do like 2 missions over. Get it. You get a little bit more of a cutscene, and then it ends, and it says some bullshit like to be continued, but then a box pops up. It says, buy the whatever DLC to get it. That's right. The end of the game is hidden behind and I looked it up. It's $7 at launch DLC. It was only $1 when I was doing it because I guess it was on sale or maybe no one was buying it. I still don't know how that game ends. I refuse to fucking pay them and or look it up because fuck you. They put the fucking end of the game behind a paywall.
Who put it out? CyberConnect 2.
You motherfuckers.
Came out in 2012.
And I had a decent time with the game for some random crap that I picked up. But fuck you, dude.
That is egregious. So putting the actual end of the game behind a paywall. Well, okay. I could think of a situation where that is okay. But instead of you putting out like second game or it's the conclusion of a story after there is an ending to the game already.
Yes. But this was like straight up like, here you go. I actually don't know how long it came out afterwards. So maybe that was the case, but I still, fuck you. I'd rather that game remained a cliffhanger for all of eternity than pay you $1 to see what happens.
Yeah, that's fucking stupid.
Honestly, if there was supposed to be a sequel and it failed, and they wanted to do something like that, it should have been fucking free. And then you know what? You put up a DLC of something stupid like the music or whatever for $5, and people will buy it if they want to give you money for it. I know it's not the same, but I would have fucking maybe have done that. I'm not fucking still angry to this goddamn day.
How long ago was this that you played it?
We worked at a place where you stop for games at that point in time. So you tell me the math on that.
Oh, so that's when you that's when you were playing it?
Yeah. Yeah, that was a while ago.
That was a while ago. Sorry, that was a while ago. So wait a second. Why did that come up again? Is that just permanently scarred?
It was. I don't know. I was at work and we were talking about games and bitching about something. And I forget what the conversation was, but I was like, let me tell you about the worst DLC of all time.
Yeah. Okay, that wins. That might be the worst. I've played some doozy bad DLC, though. Like, really bad DLCs. Let's see.
Such as?
Trying to think off the top of my head of ones that I didn't include. But basically, like, the newer Gearbox stuff, Borderlands, what was it? The one where they were on the moon.
Oh, the pre-sequel. That game
one
sucks anyway.
Yeah.
But tell me about how bad the DLC was.
Not good. I didn't finish most of it. It was bad. It was completely fucking pointless.
I've tried like 3 separate times to just get through the game, and I can't get through it.
Oh, I got through the game. It wasn't fun.
That's not. And what really sucks too is I don't think I've played as everyone, but I've played as Wilhelm, Claptrap, and someone else. And they're solid characters. Like the gameplay of them is fun, but the missions are boring as fuck.
Like the oxygen mechanic was just stupid.
Butt slamming was fun though.
Butt slamming was fun. That's something they could have added. Also,
that was Australia, right? 2K Australia or whatever, Gearbox Australia.
I think 2 and after were Australia. But that
2,
one was
it wasn't all. They worked on 2,
yeah,
and they did one of the DLCs for 2, which is Sir Hammerlock's shitty game hunt. Which I know that because that's the worst DLC in 2.
Correct.
If it makes you feel any better, their DLC got worse after 3 because Tiny Tina's Wonderland, which was fun to play, the DLC on that is 4 basically gauntlet levels. That's it. They're not new zones or new missions. It's just go through this series of changing rooms with characters, and there's kind of a story attached to them.
For everything that they did with that game, trying to make it good, and that's what they did as far as DLC.
I'm going to assume like whatever their plans got cut short or something. But yeah, no, it's fucking bad.
That can't keep happening.
They're not enough. They just got bought too. Someone bought them.
Ooh. Yeah.
Was it Volition? Who the fuck bought them? They bought the people who made Saints Row too. Same company.
It is, yeah.
And whoever that is just laid off a bunch of people. So, that's going to be fun.
But that's basically every tech company recently.
Yeah.
Unspecified buyer as of 8 hours ago.
I just know that whoever bought them, and I can't remember the name, also hasn't shared a plan on what they plan on doing, but they're buying up companies left, right. So I think they're just trying to hoard a bunch of IPs and then see what sells.
I hope they're not going to like leverage and venture capitalist these things.
That's what it's looking like.
Yeah, probably.
So that's all going to be dead.
I'm kind of okay with it. The indie scene is popping off.
Yeah, it is. AAA or whatever the hell you want to call it is not doing super well with most of their games right now, which is why a bunch of layoffs are happening.
Well, I think I have some concept as to why they're sucking so bad. Everybody is so comfortable doing what they're doing, thinking that we're just going to buy their bullshit. Like they've built the legacy and we're just going to keep eating it up, and we're not.
That's definitely part of it, but it's also just the executive end where they're just like, well, make this. And they're like, that's not really what people want. No, it makes money. And they're like, not really, though. Well, that one game did do a good job. That's true. But this is not what that is. No, it will be. And it ends up being fucking, was the vampire game we made fun of?
The one that you and Tom played?
No, the one we did a whole episode on about the guy who the shitty playthrough.
Like Cuphead? That guy?
Yeah, we talked about Cuphead, but what was Redfall?
Yeah, Redfall.
It's gonna end up being Redfall, where half the studio fucking leaves before it's done, and it's just unplayable garbage.
They need to learn a lesson.
Or Skull and Bones, or the other one. Oh, Suicide Squad, which is also doing horrible because nobody wanted that.
That could have been good also.
They who was it? Warner Brothers, right?
Yeah.
Just officially came out and said they're unhappy with the sales of that game. And I'm like, yeah, you are.
So first of all, that shouldn't be your first response. Like if I'm putting out a product and I'm saying I'm unhappy with the sales, I'm completely missing the point.
So I worded that differently. They said they've
no,
I don't want to find
that is what they actually mean though.
Yeah.
I don't care what they said. I care what they mean because they don't care about appeasing us, the consumer. They care about the shareholder.
Yep.
And that's the problem. Although I think that's an excuse, but that's a subject for a different episode.
No, I get that though. Cause all right. So most of them are companies. So they have to, that's part of your job is making the shareholders happy. But you know what'll do that? If you just make good games, and then most of the time those good games will sell well. Especially when you have like an IP that already has like a following. Like I know there's no real Suicide Squad games, but like just based on that, you already had X amount of people who want to play it. So now all you have to do is make an okay game and you would have made money. You know what I mean?
I feel like there's a disconnect, specifically in games like that. Video game, comic book games, video game movies. There's a huge disconnect because it seems like they never bother to listen to the actual fan base.
It's the same thing with like, you know what? Hold on, before we get like 800 angry nerds getting mad at us, I'll be more generic about it. It's like when something big makes a new movie, or you know what? We'll just do Pokemon because I don't care about Nintendo fans. Pokemon has barely tried for years because you're going to buy it. If I put out a Pikachu toaster and tell you it's fucking next gen, Nintendo's going to sell 1 million of them in the first hour.
Of course they are.
Now,
there's no competition in the market.
Now I can make a new toaster afterwards and say it's fucking Gen 2 Pikachu toaster, and all I did was add a third slot for toast, and they'll fucking buy it again.
Yeah, but I heard next year they're going to come out with a fourth slot.
They actually finally announced, and they barely put anything on it, which is fine, but what their new game is going to be. And I feel like it was their emergency break glass. They're going to make a new Legends game, like Arceus, but it's set in the future of whatever town started the Megas. I forget what region that is.
The Alolan region or whatever?
No, Megas were around before then. That was fucking just Hawaiian shit.
Most of that
it looks cool. A little futuristic-y, but the trailer literally is just like you kind of walking through almost like a 3D blueprint of the city. So I think it's going to all take place in this giant city. So, at least they're like, well, I guess we'll try something. Maybe.
Okay. Fine. I mean, people were calling for Arceus to be like, they were hoping Scarlet and Violet were going to be Arceus, but better. Like,
because Arceus was was really fun. I shouldn't say great. It looked like dog shit, but the gameplay loop was fucking fantastic.
I'm willing to forgive the dog shit look.
The Switch's hardware is limited,
So when the Switch came out, that was already like a 3-year-old chip.
Yep.
They should not have used that, but they did. And it did keep costs down.
The only reason I brought it up is why it looks so bad is that it literally is hard on the eyes when you first start playing it. Like I was sitting there like, this is hard to look at. Like literally hurts. But if you can get through it, it was fun as hell. it did feel more like a proof of concept game. Like they weren't sure, so they didn't throw a bunch of assets into it.
Yeah.
So hopefully this time around, like, oh yeah, people like this. Cool.
See, and that's what Scarlet felt like to me because I didn't play Arceus. So it actually
that was the last one, right? Oh, Scarlet was such a letdown.
I mean, I played it, had fun with it. It was what I expected.
So here's the thing: is all their new stuff for that, right? Like, so it was this giant open world adventure where you can choose your own path. You really can't, because if you do, and then you go back to do any of the other stuff, you're over leveled. You kind of have to do all three at once. And like,
correct.
They don't even tell you the order, but you can theoretically do it in whatever order you want, but you'll steamroll the rest if you don't do it the right order.
Yeah, you're going to get raffle stomped if you go to the wrong one first. And
yeah, which is always fun. And they're like, and you could play with your friends. I mean, not really. We can log into each other's games, and I can also catch Pokemon and see you in the background, but that's about it.
We could fight the same crystal-hatted things. Like, that was the biggest cop-out to me.
That already existed, too. And they always do a new island thing where, like, it's different. So it was Crystal Heads this time. It was dancing in Hawaii. Megas are the only cool one. But yeah, like, so early on, I was playing with Erica, right? And I think it's the first gym has the little soccer field that they make you do an obstacle course.
Is that the first? I didn't even go to that one first.
Whatever. It's one of the earlier gyms. I don't really remember.
You're probably right.
But there's a soccer field out back, and they make you do an obstacle course. Instead of playing soccer, by the way, we should have played soccer. That's what we should have done.
I remember being let down.
But they have the ball and the thing set up. Like, oh, cool. So maybe we can just, like, a mini game with her. Maybe that's what we'll do. We'll just bat the ball around. No, even though I can see her running around, the ball isn't the same ball in her game. So I can't even play pretend soccer there.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's fucking stupid. You know how little that would have taken to just make this the same ball that we can hit back and forth?
I mean, that's a lot of communication between devices, and they probably didn't want to code that.
It's not even the same Pokemon, though, too. Like, it's not even we can try to catch the same one, unless it is in the little cave system. That's
is
fine.
That the same?
Yeah, if we go to the same thing, you and up to 3 friends can fight the same giant one.
Oh, yeah.
But you have to, like, select him into your party and or fill it random. You know, you can't just go to it. It's still like 4 other steps.
That's fucking stupid. But I'm not surprised.
Fine. But their whole thing was like, play with your friend. Not really.
They do always say that for every Pokemon.
I know, but it would have been the same exact experience if that wasn't in the game and I just played in the same room with her, which I did anyway.
Correct. They also had, in my opinion, an egregious DLC rollout, because not only is it unclear if the DLC is actually out.
At this point, it is.
It is. But there was, I'm pretty sure there were 2 already, if I'm remembering correctly.
Yeah.
And the easiest way to get them is to purchase the game over again with the included DLC. Buying the DLC separate is a pain in the ass to find. That
can't be true.
You think?
I don't have it because I got rid of the game, but I would assume you just go to the eShop and buy the right one. I do know that a bunch of people, when it was up for pre-order, bought the wrong one because parents were buying it for their kids. So if they had Violet, they bought the Scarlet DLC and vice versa.
They're not.
And Nintendo was like, well, that sucks. Does not work that way. No, I'm sure they maybe sent them back. I won't look into that. I just know that was a big thing at first.
Yeah. I haven't had the best experience with them. Yeah, going through the Switch, it doesn't directly send you to the DLC purchase page. It sends you to, do you want to buy the game again with the DLC included? And that's fucking stupid and annoying.
Their store also their online store isn't great.
Correct.
It's not the worst, but it's not great. PlayStation's is pretty bad too, actually.
Is it?
If you look up a game, right? Like, so all right, so it happened to me.
It is also $34.99.
With the Yakuza games, right? I wanted to go back and play all the old ones for the first time. So I was like, all right, so if I look one up, or let's say I just looked up the first one, right? It'll say, I don't remember how much I paid for it. It was like $5, right? But then I found out that they were also selling a pack there's 2 packs. It's 0, 1, and 2, and then 3, 4, and 5. Right, those are each $20 each.
Okay,
but it doesn't come up when you go into the game individually. You have to search for the pack
to try and nickel and dime you to death.
Yeah, so I paid $5 for just one, and then found out there were packs. So I was like, all right, well, and it doesn't discount you. I'm like, Jesus Christ, that's with everything. I bought the Castlevania, something else, same thing. Where I'm like, oh, I'm glad I looked to see if there was a fucking collection.
That sours my whole perspective on a company. If you're going to do that with DLC or with your product, where you piecemeal it out, or you're going to try and trick me into paying more.
I don't even think it's so. It's definitely on purpose that it's still set up like that, but I don't think it was set up like that on purpose. I think it's more like that scene in Office Space where they're like, so you're going to fire the guy? We're just going to stop paying him. I think that was it. Like, so it doesn't work like that? Yeah, but we're not going to fix it. Okay.
Yeah. Well, that happens definitely. And pricing structures are absolutely designed to make you just say, fuck it, I'll pay for the next tier. Or fuck it, I'll buy the bundle or whatever. They do structure on purpose.
Well, good.
So, where is the line for you on pricing then?
So it depends on what you're selling me. Like, how much of a deal? How much am I getting? Am I getting a character, a story, a whole island?
So let's say it's something like, we'll do the extreme positive here, Blood Dragon.
How much was Blood Dragon? How much is Blood Dragon separate?
It was, I don't know, it was like $3 when I bought it a couple weeks ago.
That's on sale though. There's no way it's free on PlayStation right now, which is why it's downloaded on my system.
Nice.
Let's see, Blood Dragon price. I would assume this was $20 when it came out.
I feel like it was $15.
I wrote Dragon Blood. Apparently, I'm super dyslexic. Blood Dragon. $75. Here we go. Come on. All right, $15. So you were right. That's fair. I definitely would have paid $20. If this was $30 and I would have been pissed off at $30, but I'm glad it wasn't $30.
$30 seems a bit much, especially because it was short and it was just a riff, like a mod, which I don't even think people do anymore, where they just rip all the assets and everything from a game and make it into a different one, like Gary's mod style. But I was quite content playing that. I was quite content playing it again.
Exactly. It's super fun. It is short, but Far Cry games are whatever anyway. It's better than some of the Far Cry shit they put out recently.
Absolutely.
It's also standalone.
It is standalone, which was fucking amazing, which to me sounds like it was things they were tooling around with.
Yep.
And they were like, we could just put this together as a side project, and did. And that makes it extra fun.
So I would say $30 is probably the most money you could have got out of me. I would have said 20 is a fair price. Fucking 15 is phenomenal.
15 is phenomenal for what it is and how good it was. And it was just an encapsulated story. It rang on nostalgia, fun mechanics, comedy. Like, you could tell that they were enjoying themselves with it. So
hell yeah, man.
Extreme good. What's the extreme bad?
The extreme bad is making me pay for things that should be in the game. Like fucking like a dragon, infinite wealth. Do you want to play New Game Plus? Hope you have an extra $25. I think that's the price.
25.
Let me double check that.
25. That's a bit much.
It might only be 20. I might have been off by $5.
Even still. New Game Plus. First of all, I don't even do the New Game Plus thing. It's just not my thing. Like, especially if you give me extra shit for doing it, I'm like, that should have been in the first playthrough.
If it helps, it's overwhelmingly negative on Steam.
Really?
just the DLC, by the way, not the game.
Okay, I was going to ask.
This game is good. Yeah, so it does technically give you a few things, and you can't straight up just buy New Game Plus. So it's in something called the Master Vacation Bundle. And basically, it's New Game Plus, a dungeon to do at the end of the game, which they didn't put one in this one, which they usually do, like something to do at the end. So there's no end game content either. That's also paywalled. And then it's a couple fucking bonus costumes, and that might be it, actually. Oh, some other bullshit like extra people for the Animal Crossing Island and the Pokemon thing.
Okay, I was going to bring up another one. The horse armor from Oblivion.
Yeah, that's on a list. If you Google,
it is. DLC, it's like number one on the list. Not really, but
it's not. It's like the first one they mentioned. I wouldn't say it's number one.
I think that's an egregious one that comes out of a time where it's like that wasn't yet a thing.
So I feel like they didn't know what to do with DLC because that was early DLC.
Yeah.
Like, so what do we charge people?
When did it actually start? So I would say like the contemporary motions toward where we are today started somewhere around 2008.
I know Call of Duty had been doing it before this, but I think my first interaction with like really getting into it was probably Borderlands 1.
Okay, 2011.
That's when they started fucking, the Mad Moxies, whatever, and
yep.
I can't remember the name of any of them.
General
Knox's Army, yeah. The Scooby-Doo one.
Scooby-Doo one.
It was like mummies and shit. And wereskags. It wasn't really Scooby-Doo, but it was the Scooby-Doo bit.
Oh. That was the
Zombie Island of Dr. Ned or Zed, or not the Doctor. Except for it is. That was fantastic. For all of you who haven't played it, they took a character from the base game and just put a fake mustache over him and said it was his twin brother. But then in like Borderlands 2, they legitimately confirmed that it was his twin brother and they're actually triplets.
Convenient. Yeah, what was my first experience with the really like pushing it DLCs? They're not, I don't classify them as DLCs because they're just not, they're expansions to a games as a service nonsense, but all the Destiny shit.
Microtransactions. Oh, okay.
Not even the microtransactions.
Right, so let's just call microtransactions as bad DLC.
Oh my God,
I buy them.
So like the armor sets that you can only get through the cash shops, I don't like. I participate in some of it.
I have some of them too.
But I don't. So like Destiny was the worst one, but I rarely ever purchased. I think there was one for Cade that I had to complete just because I had to. But the rest of it was like bought with whatever glimmer and silver, whatever nonsense that comes with purchasing the next DLC expansion to it.
So you had some free shit, which is a great way to get you to buy things, by the way. Here's some free shit.
Sure.
You want some more?
But like hearing people purchase stuff in Fortnite and racking up huge bills, don't get it.
Oh, I have so many skins in Fortnite.
Yeah, I can't.
I've slowed down. A lot of them too, because I have the monthly thing, so they give me a little bit, and that gives me the battle pass. I get some more shit with that. And I get like shit for like Erica buys me crap for like Christmas and stuff, so I get some V-Bucks.
Okay,
but like Ninja Turtles just came out, and I straight up just threw my wallet at Ninja Turtles. So
that's hitting on some nostalgia dopamine.
I wouldn't even lie about that. I just here you go. Here's a blank check, sir. What else you got?
So, I mean, I get that one. I've done that same kind of thing with World of Warcraft for the holidays. It's like, here's a whatever mount.
When they're half off.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. I have most of those. Kevin used to buy me one every year too. So
there you go.
For Christmas, he's like, here you go. Like, sweet. So apparently the Saboteur, which is a pretty cool game that I remember playing, had a DLC that was called the Midnight Show, and all it unlocked was you can now go to strip clubs for $5.
For $5.
Well, we'll take the pasties off. Oh, and it added some gambling games. Sorry.
No. Yeah. Okay. So that's where we were at. When did that game come out?
That is Xbox also, right? 360?
Was it?
Part of me wants to say it's PlayStation 2, but I feel like that's too old.
No, I think, I mean, looking at it, it could be 360. Could be probably 360. That's pretty bad. But,
2009.
2009. Okay. Beautiful Katamari, extra levels.
Oh, that was a remake, right?
Fourth game in the delightful Katamari series, Beautiful Katamari made history by being an early example of a particular kind of DLC, mortal sin, selling players an incomplete game and hiding content behind a paywall.
That might have been the handheld one then.
I don't know.
In my mind, there's only 3 Katamari games, so I think that might have been handheld.
Yeah. That's, you shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah, no, again, you can't hide part of the game. Fucking Dragon Age did that shit too. The first one?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah. There's just people that like in your camp or in whatever the hub city or some shit. They're like, I have a quest, and you talk to him. Give me money. Which I think I got. I think I bought that game late anyway, so I got all the DLC, so it wasn't that bad.
You could buy whatever the collection, like the whole thing, whatever they called it on Xbox. That's after the first year or whatever.
When they remade Sonic Adventure DX for...
We're looking at the same list.
Whatever. Yeah, we are.
Asura's Wrath is number 2.
Yeah, I saw that. I was so happy.
There you go, Sims.
The true ending. That's real. I played this game, was pissed. Oh yeah, this Sims is bullshit because I don't even know how much money. Erica figured it out.
We did, yeah.
Did it to one of our
it's like $4,000. It's in one of the earlier episodes. I have to go back and reference it.
All right, so I actually found a different list, and something beats that. It's Train Simulator, one of the ones.
Ew.
It's $11,000 for all the trains.
Holy fucking hell. There are people that paid that.
There definitely are. You know what else was really bad too? And I completely forgot about this game. Evolve.
Oh.
That was a cool concept, except for they were like, oh, you want to play as not one of the 4 monsters that we came out with? Better give us money each time we put out a new one.
Yeah.
I knew that was going to fail anyway, just because like they wanted full price for what is essentially just multiplayer, which I know that's kind of more standard now. But like that's all it was. Like
yes,
that's not how that works.
So like this is at best a $30 game because similar games of similar genres are about that on Steam. And like Steam is kind of the marketplace where you test pricing and at least find out what people are willing to pay. And
that did start a whole genre though, because that was the first one like this. There's so many games like this now, that 4 against 1.
It was the first AAA one.
Okay, I should say that. It was the first one that I think I know about. That was like in the limelight anyway.
Yeah, there's tons like that. Like that's an old genre that kind of came back.
As its own game. I've played shit like that that's part of a game, like a multiplayer mode, you know what I mean? I think that might have been the first game I played that was the whole game.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's that. Call of Duty, I find egregious and what they do. I didn't realize how bad that's gotten.
I don't know how bad it's gotten either. I haven't played a Call of Duty.
So they do the skin packs. They do like the weapon camos or whatever. They do the map packs, which the map packs were always kind of bullshit. Like you would go into GameStop and get the card to get the map packs. Like, fucking stupid, $15 for maps. So,
all right. As someone who doesn't play them, I don't think maps is that bad because you're adding more levels. Now, I don't know how much they give you to begin with. If it's like, or let's say you get fucking 10 and we're going to give you another 5 for however much the map pack sucks, fuck you. But if like it comes out with like 15, 20-ish maps and they want to add another 5 down the line or whatever the amount is, okay.
It's not even close to that many. It's usually like it'll come out with 8 maps, only like 3 or 4 of which are new.
As I'm saying it too, I'm like, those numbers sound high.
If it was that, I would have less of a problem with it. But usually the map packs are like 4 new ones. The one that I got for free was like Nuketown or whatever. However long that was, I think it was Modern Combat 2 or whatever, the remake. I don't even fucking know anymore. That's how long ago I stopped playing. And so let's say those map packs come out. Well, not all the maps are in rotation for like the competitives. So you're not even playing all of them. And the maps are kind of stupid because as you go into like competitive maps, the more competitive games, nobody cares. They want the same kind of map. So
what was that the game that's like Left 4 Dead, but it's like magic and melee, and you kill a bunch of rats?
Oh, Vermintide.
Yeah, that. So like they have maps too, and some of them
maps,
are
they have like characters and
some of them are good, some of them are meh. But only one person in your party needs to own it for you to be able to play it, or you just luckily play random and get it too. But like so. That's kind of cool that if like I just say I had the map because it was on sale or whatever, we could all do that map.
That's not bad. I like that. That's fine. Remnant did a pretty good job. Their DLC, the most recent one, was like just another side of a world. So it was an entirely encapsulated world, new story, separate from the main story.
I liked all of their DLC, even the one where they just kind of added shit to the swamp, which most people didn't. I gave you a different game mode too.
Okay.
So I think it's when it gave you the roguelike. I mean, the whole game is roguelike, but like it's a whole roguelike adventure where it randomly pulls bits and pieces from all the maps. But the main part was it was supposed to add story to the swamp, which it kind of did, but it wasn't that much. But I really liked it. Their other DLC I thought was cool too, where they added more to the story and you kill that other, or I don't think you kill it, but you go to the ice planet and do whatever. The one level is way too much story, but besides that, it was good. So their track record's pretty okay.
Yeah, they do a pretty good job, but I feel like their developers want to make and play games, whereas other ones are just fucking dead inside day workers.
So here's one. The Animal Crossing New Horizons, the Happy Home Paradise. So it was like the new Animal Crossing, right? You go to an island, it's no one's been there, you create infrastructure, whatever. The DLC was basically you go to a resort and do the same thing, but now you're running a resort as instead of getting people to live on your island. The DLC basically solved all the quality of life problems the base game had, but you could not use them in the base game. You can only use them on the DLC island.
That's funny.
So like funny. you could move shit in like large chunks and like edit all this crap. They're like, yeah, but if you go back to your island, you still got to do it one tile at a time.
Oh, that's fucking.
It also came free if you own fucking Nintendo's online thing.
Yeah.
So didn't pay for it anyway. Actually, I never played it, but I've seen it.
I've got one that was pretty dumb that I purchased as part of a pack. I think it came included with whatever because I took a break from Skyrim, but Hearthfire. You can have children that do nothing and build houses. But I played this on
beforehand.
PC and could do that anyway.
I was going to say, there was a bunch of mods that let you do that before that came out.
And most of them
which is why I think it was for free all the time, because they were like, here, just have it.
Yeah.
This is our official version.
Yeah, like that was not a good DLC. The other DLCs in that one were good.
Yeah, I had fun with them.
The Dragonborn one was
becoming a vampire.
Probably the most fun that no, not the most fun, but the most engaging story-wise. Like it recaptured me into the story. The vampire one was awesome.
The one specifically for that game? Yeah, probably.
Yeah. So like the actual fighting the original Dragonborn, I was like, oh, okay, I'm the Highlander. You think you're going to win this? I have like 1,000 hours in this game.
I was pissed in the vampire one that I couldn't side with the vampires.
Yeah.
I wanted to block out the sun forever.
It kind of just doesn't let you do it. It kind of ends, right?
So no matter what you do, you end up killing him. And I don't remember if you try to side with him more if you get this, or if you get this regardless, but you get magic arrow ability where if you shoot an
You
arrow
blot out
at
the sun.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of cool, but I wanted no sun forever.
I think
I remember
there's some circumstance where if you kill him, like you take the light side ending, you get both those arrows.
I remember bitching to my friend about this, and he's like, well, that would have been really bad. I know it would have really bad. It's a video game, dude. I don't want to end all life in real life. In this world, I want to be a badass vampire fucking overlord.
Yeah, I want to fuck shit up in this world.
I'd be powerful forever. All the Dark Souls DLC is fucking awesome, too, and that just makes me want to bash my fucking brains in half the time.
See, but that's a good example of adding to the story, like adding to the actual game.
I want to say, hold on. Let me think about this for a second. I'm pretty sure. I mean, a lot of the stories are connected, and they'll go back and show you some lore, but nothing is to the point where it felt like it needed to be in the base game. In fact, in one of them, is it Dark Souls 1? I'm pretty sure. You go back in time, and there's a Torius of the Abyss, who was like this legendary knight who fell fighting back the Abyss. Well, it turns out he didn't. He fought the Abyss, but he got fucked up by it and corrupted. And what happened is you actually went back in time, killed him, and then killed the Abyss, and then he got the credit for it because everyone saw him fight the Abyss. I assumed he's the one that stopped it.
Oh, I see.
And, you disappeared and went back to your time. So it's like, look at that.
Yeah, there's no record of you.
It's me.
That's a good way to tie that in. I think Bloodborne's DLC, some people really like the Bloodborne DLC.
I didn't ever play it, unfortunately.
I don't know.
I could now. I'm pretty sure this is also free on PlayStation. It's not on PC, right? Can I play
Bloodborne?
on PC?
It might be. I don't know.
I don't think I can. I could not. Okay.
So, yeah, I mean, those are good DLCs. The more that it expands the story and allows me to continue it, like if it's a bad story, bad game, I guess it doesn't matter. But the more it gets to the point where it's just expanding and expanding on the story, or going down a different storyline, even if it's not the main story, I'm fine with it. It can't start creeping up towards like what the actual game was in pricing.
The game should feel whole without it.
Correct. There you go. That's a better way of putting it.
And I get to like fighting games. I get you want to make characters, and I think we briefly covered this one other time too. As long as they're not characters that have been in the game forever, I don't mind. If you have to at least be 3 games should have passed for you to be a DLC character of you not being in it.
I feel
minimum.
I feel like there was a Mortal Kombat where I felt super jaded because Scorpion I had to unlock.
He was in the game though.
He was in the game.
Yeah, that's a whole different thing.
I don't know what I would have done
there.
if it was like, oh no, he is DLC and so is Sub-Zero, but Sub-Zero comes out in like 8 months.
They just did that too. Fucking Tekken, man. Eddie Gordo is going to be the first DLC. Like, come on, man.
Wasn't he just
it's not
in
as
the
bad as
last
Street
one?
Fighter. I don't know, but I feel jaded.
Fair enough.
They keep making the same character because he's old now. Because there was Lucky Chloe was in the last one, and I forget what the other chick's name is, but she's female Eddie Gordo.
Oh, okay. I guess that could be a thing. What game did that where they had like the female or male equivalent and they were like slightly different? Was it Smash Brothers? Am I just thinking of Smash Brothers? I feel like it was something else.
I mean, that has happened in Smash Brothers. Is that way?
It has happened in Smash Brothers. Maybe it was. And it was just highlighted because the Fire Emblem characters, they can't help themselves with that.
Yeah. All right. So he was in 7. I feel like in 6 or 5, he wasn't in it. They replaced it. Whatever one the chick showed up, I think she was the one.
I don't know how I feel about the paying for characters of fighting games.
So again, if they're new or if they're bringing back someone who hasn't been in a while and it's not like an egregious price, I'm okay with it. Or even less like cooler when it's like what do you call it? I can't think of what to call it right now, but like it's a character that shouldn't even be in here, like fucking Homelander and Peacemaker and Omni-Man are in fucking Mortal Kombat.
That's
guest characters.
Okay.
Not that you can't just throw a guest character in a fighting game, because Soul Calibur do that shit all the time.
Sure.
But like, if you were gonna do one later, like, hey,
fucking Link was in one.
I showed up. He was, and he was okay. None of the characters generous. In that game were particularly good.
No, Spawn was cool. He wasn't.
Spawn was cool, but he was shitty.
What was the PlayStation one?
Hayachi.
That's right.
Which was a last-minute decision because it was supposed to be Cloud, and the deal fell through.
I do feel like Hayachi just kind of fits in because isn't that the same company?
Yeah, or at least parent-wise. And that's what happened. Something where they were like, oh, well, we have a good relationship with them. Yo, can we use Hayachi? Yeah, put him in the game. We don't care.
There you go. All the assets. So, yeah, I mean, that was okay. It was cool that every console had its own unique. Like that, I think that was the most interesting part of it.
That was.
Oh, you know a fighting game, speaking of, they should bring back? Bloody Roar.
Oh, I was hoping you were going to say Clay Fighter.
That too.
That almost came back.
But Booger Man was going to be absent because he's nothing to do with that IP, actually.
That is true. He's his own thing.
Yeah.
Let's see. Bloody Roar, new game. I feel like I heard something about this too, but it was like years ago.
I think it completely fell through.
Bloody Roar Evolution's upcoming reboot. Let's see. This is the first game. I have nothing concrete.
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, it was pretty cool. I feel like the concept is applicable now, especially with things like Marvel vs. Capcom.
Yeah, the last one didn't super take off. And that's so much money now, too.
Of course it is.
Well, we'll probably never see another Marvel vs. Capcom.
That's a shame. But I don't know.
Yeah, it's literally just a bunch of people saying something might happen with Bloody Roar. Hey, be hopeful, guys. It happens.
It does.
Tomba's getting re-released on the PS5. If that can happen, so can this. Tomba and Gex, actually.
Gex is hilarious.
Gex was hilarious. Let's see how that holds up.
Damn. Wow. The nostalgia. It might come back. All the furries might get behind this because I'm sure some of them like fighting games. And I'm not throwing shade at furries. Yet.
You mean Bloody Roar still? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Can we play it on anything? Bloody Roar.
Fuck. Bloody Roar 4 is $146. That has to be like some random ass listing.
Oh, I don't know, man. It was never super popular, so there's probably not that many of them floating around.
That's fair. Transitioning because I don't know how I feel. Like I still feel a little dirty paying for characters in a fighting game. Where did the DLC train go like off the rails? Like how did we wind up at paying $2 for an extra die pack?
People giving them money when they say, here's an extra die pack, please pay me $2.
Yes, I'm pretty sure we're to blame. Not us in particular, but gaming nerds in general.
I'm going to go with Soul Calibur fucked that up for fighting games.
Yeah?
I think they were the first, or if not the first, they definitely went dirty with it. I forget which one. It was like, whatever the second Soul Calibur that had online play was. That's when like they stripped like 80% of the free shit, the character creator, and we're like, hey, want to give us money for colors?
Really?
Because the first one wasn't that bad. I was like, oh, it's missing some stuff, but all right. And then whatever again, 4 maybe or 5, I forget which ones went online first. That's when they ripped everything out, and they were like, yeah.
See?
Money.
I wouldn't have thought that. I would have thought like Well, I mean, I guess just in general, how microtransactions started to, I can't fucking talk, I'm dying. How microtransactions started to take off on, like, let's say, Xbox, Call of Duty.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying that beat that. I meant specifically for fighting games. Like I think that was the first one.
So fighting games, it was Soul Calibur. They were Patient Zero with the communicable cancer that's absolutely terminal.
Street Fighter will make you pay fucking $15 for colors.
Well, when was that?
All the time. Street Fighter's bad with DLC, man. They're good games, but they literally want you to pay out the ass if you want to play their game. That shit never goes on sale.
Yeah.
Not like really on sale.
Okay. I mean, I say fuck that.
So probably EA. EA probably started with everything being bad.
Okay.
Because they were like, oh, you guys want to pay extra for shit? We don't have to put any of this in the game. At all.
I feel like Valve doesn't get in trouble enough for it. Because
what has Valve specifically done?
Counter-Strike.
Oh, is that them?
Oh, yeah.
I don't play Counter-Strike.
Yeah, that would be why.
So, yeah, that also is really bad.
Because they've been at it since, like, I don't know, 2006.
At least with Counter-Strike. Oh, it is Valve. Goddamn.
Yeah. They were the first ones to, like, they did get in trouble for loot boxes and all that stuff, but then they stopped.
At least you theoretically could make money in Counter-Strike.
That's true.
People have made a shit ton selling this crap.
That's stupid.
You know what? I have a fucking friend who got, I don't even know what it was, but some rare hat on fucking Team Fortress 2. He sold that shit, dude, for like $600. Mm-hmm. I was like, God damn.
Oh, that's not even like the worst. Like, here, let me.
Oh, no, they go up there, but still, like, I personally know someone who fucking that happened. Like, oh, I got this hat. Anybody want it?
Oh, and people do.
Out of their damn minds. It must be nice to have that much disposable income. And if it's not, I'm sorry for the family you ruined.
Holy shit. Okay, fine. Let's see here. Is this true?
What you got?
This may not be accurate. Let's see here. We'll go Yahoo Finance. No, updated one. Where's the updated one? There it is. Okay. Oh no, that might as well be accurate. Okay. A Karambit case hardened blue gem sold for over $100,000.
What is that?
This is all from Counter-Strike.
Oh, okay.
Let's see here.
For $100,000.
Yeah.
What was it?
A Karambit case hardened blue gem, whatever the fuck that is. It's a legendary skin for hardened Karambit. No idea. Let's see here.
Jesus Christ.
That's not even
playing the wrong games, man.
That's not even okay. 150,000 for souvenir aught. Fucking hell.
Mark, you want to start playing Counter-Strike?
No, I used to. Fucking hell.
I think we should.
$400,000. Oh my God. Okay. $600,000. I don't know if that one's real. Fucking hell. Oh my God. AK-47. $400,000.
I don't remember if it was Counter-Strike, but I saw a video of some kid. He was like a LAN party, and he pulled some legendary knife out of a loot box, and the entire room's like,
yeah. Oh, that's a real thing.
Because apparently, yeah, it's probably one of those fucking things where you could have gotten like that. How do you not sell that instantly?
I don't think I would have told anyone. No one would know.
Oh, well, they were all watching like as you opened it.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Like it wasn't like, yeah.
My God. Okay, so 40,000 and 1 million. So there's been reported sales of up to 1 million. 1.5 million.
Jesus Christ.
Fucking hell. Okay.
We're on Counter-Strike 2, right? So we gotta restart right now.
Yep.
Let's start playing this shit.
Counter-Strike, it's, fucking hell.
Making podcasts. This is our new business model. We're gonna play Counter-Strike and sell shit.
You look into that and get back to me.
It's a free game.
It is a free game, but the amount of life that you lose from it isn't free at all.
Yeah, I know. It's become my new job.
Bloody hell.
That's crazy.
So, yeah, it might have gone wrong with Counter-Strike. And then Call of Duty after that just made it pop. I blame a lot on Call of Duty. And some of it's deserved and some of it isn't actually their fault. It just happens there. Although, here's a good example of something else. Call of Duty allows a lot of horrible shit to happen on their platform and encourage it. Like the microtransactions, like the blatant, horrible, toxic people in the lobbies. Whereas Helldivers, if you bring up anything political, banned. Doesn't matter the position. I was like, good. Fucking about time.
They still having server issues?
I don't think so. Maybe because a lot of people are playing.
Yeah, last I heard, their server issues are they don't have enough.
Yeah, they might have corrected it. I mean, I still have to buy it. I'm going to. I want to play it. It just hits so many Starship Trooper vibes.
Yeah, it does look really good.
So,
I might pick it up next week, but I won't have time to play it.
Yeah, that's my problem too. So downloadable content should be, I mean, it can be its own encapsulated adventure. It could add to the game.
Again, really what it comes down to is it should be an addition. The base game should feel complete. This should feel like extra.
Like if you want to give me another episode, I'm more than happy.
And it should be good.
You can't.
And if you want to sell color packs, $1 to $2 a piece, depending on how much you're recoloring. Yeah, I still wouldn't buy them, but I could understand that.
Maybe that also bothers me. Like, there should be another way to unlock those as well.
Well, it depends. So, like, a lot of fighting games have, like, let's say, 6 to 12 different colors, and then they'll come out and be like, "Here's fucking 20 random ones." Capcom did that, right? Marvel vs. Capcom, I think.
I think so.
Yeah, and they're pretty cheap. Again, I'm good, but I could see that. Skullgirls did that shit too. You could buy a bunch of color packs.
Skullgirls kind of jumped the shark. That was a good fighter, and then all of a sudden they're like, "We're going to embrace a message that no one cares. We really pontificate somewhere else. We don't care."
They actually came out like what was it called, Encore 2, and finally added all the shit they were going to add to the first one. It's still a pretty solid fighter. They did get a little weird with that shit, but
what was the one that was offering fucking weapons and actual pay-to-win shit? Because like that just, I don't even class that.
Oh, that's a lot of games.
No, but it was one that like, we're never going to do that. And then they fucking did it.
I mean, you shortened that list, but it's still a lot of games.
Oh my God, I can't remember that game.
What type of game is it? Let's.
It was like a RPG-y kind of hack and slashy. Oh my God.
Okay, so yeah, you're just naming every game that does that ever.
Pretty much, yeah. Destiny kind of did it a couple times with specific types of things where it wasn't like necessarily pay to win, but it was like download the DLC and you can get the whatever weapon.
Yeah, Destiny's not that bad. It's not great at it, but it's never been horrible with it. There are games though where it's like, well, if you have money, here you go.
Lost Ark was like that, if I recall.
Yes, I never played that either.
It's very common to have it in like Chinese or Asian market games, especially Chinese, because if you can't, I forget what the rules are, but they have like crazy ass rules when it comes to like amount of time to play.
You said Lost Ark, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did play that with you. I was thinking of fucking Ark Survival. I'm sorry.
No.
Yeah, that was like that. You could just pay for shit.
Yeah. But like the Asian market, like China has rules where like you have to be able to unlock this and not have to pay for it, or you have to have, this accomplishable in X amount of time.
Oh yeah, you can do it if you have no life and can fucking min-max 30 different things at once.
Yeah, but they have fucked up rules. Like, I don't know if it's actually in effect, but I heard, I gotta verify it. Don't take this on faith. They have limits on like when their servers can be up for people to play and how long you can play. Like you can, on their social credit system, you could just be flagged like you can't play more than 2 hours or you can't play at all anymore.
Sucks.
Yeah. They also have weird rules like zombies can't be a thing, dead people, it's technically against the law.
Time travel can't happen either. That's why it took forever for them to get fucking Wrath of the Lich King.
Yeah, so that's weird. I mean, with context, that makes it a little bit more explainable because, like, you can't have a regular ass shop where there's only purchasable items there, which is why Destiny there has to have that special vendor.
Oh yeah, fucking sorry, because that made me think of it too. Back to fucking Mortal Kombat, they changed it now, and it's much clearer that these items are only purchasable through the shop. But when their shop first opened, with the real life currency, you could buy things that you could unlock in the game normally.
Yeah,
and there was no like thing that said like, oh yeah, you just like, oh, that looks cool. And it's like, yeah, you could have gotten that for free.
Not a fan of that. Like, I think that's my line. If I can unlock it, I'm not going to bother.
So I'm fine with them trying to sell a shortcut, which I think is stupid, but at least you have to let me know. Like, I didn't, because I'm like, I'm pretty sure I own that.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, it's a personal line. I don't know if it's I wouldn't want them to be allowed to do that. Half of the shit I would be like, it's just not for me. I'm not going to tell them they can't do it.
But yeah, I was like, oh, that was a little mark. And I think I was on the shop the other day. I think it literally takes you to a different tab now.
I guess it's worse, at least for me, if the game feels unfinished and then you offer DLC and you're like, oh, well, that was the whole game, I guess.
Yeah, that was what you were hinting at. We just wanted more monies.
Yeah.
Can you think of anything that's done that recently?
That's actually done it? I don't think so, but there's been accusations on a bunch of shit.
I'm trying to think recently, too. I don't have anything that bad besides Azora's Wrath. This isn't recent, but that still pisses me off. Fucking, you know what was also really great, and we haven't talked about it? The fucking, it was the Shivering Isles, right? That was Oblivion DLC.
Yep.
That was the best part of that game. I would download Elder Scrolls Oblivion just to go play that.
Yeah. That was a good one.
Sheogorath. And whatever the alternate personality of him is called. I forget its name.
Mass Effect is a big one. Hitman.
Mass Effect changed the entire ending of their game with DLC.
That's true. Azora's Wrath, Alan Wake. Alan Wake was a fairly recent one.
How do you feel about that, though, real quick?
What?
Them changing the end of the game with DLC.
If it's a multi-ending game and you're adding endings to it that I can do, I'm fine with it. If you're just like, yeah, we didn't like the first one, so here's the one we actually like, then no, that's dumb.
I didn't like how it happened. I should say, too, that I don't play the games, so I understand people were pissed off at the ending.
Oh, yeah, Fallout New Vegas did it. Sorry.
But it's all right. But I don't like that a bunch of people were like, this is horrible, change this. And they changed it.
Yeah.
Just because I feel that sets a bad precedent.
Like,
I also don't know how bad it was. So I don't play it.
It wasn't good. It was a lot of lead up, like, to find out that, spoiler alert, I'm not even going to spoil it well because I don't know the whole story. Like, it's just, human beings' time to go. They're whatever the race of whatever things kill people, and they just eradicate races because, I don't know, they work with entropy. You can't escape it. Great.
Yeah, I'm happy they got a better ending because that sounds good. I'm just not happy how it happened. Because again, I feel like that sets a weird precedent of, fuck you, change my game.
Again, if they would have done it like, hey, if you didn't like that, play the story again and see what happens. And like maybe make some different choices. I'm fine with it that way. Oh my God, there's a new ending now and it doesn't suck.
You said some other game did it too, right? What did you say? Fucking
Fallout New Vegas did it.
Oh, did it too? Mm-hmm. I don't play those either.
Yep. New Vegas did it. There's been a handful, and then most of the other ones, it's people's opinions, which maybe they're right, but it's hard to say.
So I've just been handed a note. I'm supposed to talk about how shitty The Sims 4 is right now. because they not the last DLC, but the one before that. What was it called? It doesn't matter. I'm not Googling this shit. But it added like apartments, and you could be a slumlord and do shit with crystals or something. But there's a game breaking bug in it that can literally delete all of your save file or corrupt it or whatever. And they haven't fixed it or addressed it publicly, but they're also pushing their next DLC already.
Of course they are.
Fuck EA.
It sucks for fans of The Sims, and I know there's a lot of them. Unfortunately, EA is one of the antichrists. I'm told there's many.
As I was talking with Erica before, if they just addressed that there was a bug and they're working on it, she said most of the community would be okay. They'd be like, all right, like just, be like, hey, our bad, broken.
That's just not how corporations do business. And that's not how people do business anymore. I agree with her.
Even if they didn't say they're bad, they're just, hey, there's a fix coming.
Yeah.
But now apparently there's a large protest of we're not going to buy anything until we can't play this game unless we uninstall that DLC, which we paid you for.
So, I mean, that's good. Vote with your dollars. I like that. It would be nice to see them take ownership of it because, that's what you're supposed to do. I just have no faith in EA.
Oh, yeah, me neither. They they no longer have a contract to be the only ones to make Star Wars games, so that's fun for everyone.
That's true.
Although the Mandalorian game just got canceled.
They're having problems. Disney lost $150 some odd billion in revenue.
Yeah, everyone's losing money right now because we're all fucking poor.
That, and also they made some decisions that didn't resonate, and they made like 4 or 5 of their last movies didn't do nearly as well as they needed to.
Yeah, they
like not even minimum standard, way below.
Yeah, no, it's bad.
DLC, what's the minimum acceptable, and what's the absolute top?
What's the top? Blood Dragon.
What else?
Shimmering Isles.
Shimmering Isles.
So I guess the top would have to be, doesn't necessarily have to be standalone, but almost entirely mini stories, almost entirely different worlds or stories that were separate from the game.
There we go. There's a model we can work with.
That's probably the tops, because even the Witcher one too. What the hell was that from Witcher 3?
Those were good. Heart of Stone and
it's blood and something. Can't remember what the hell it was called, but that was fantastic too.
Those were, yeah.
Again, it had nothing to do with, or almost nothing to do with what was going on.
No, what was cool? Well, that's another thing about those that's kind of interesting, because like you can go and do those before you continue with the story or whatever, and then come back with a decent amount of gear and whatever, not necessarily overpowered, but like
but just different gear. Different gear, abilities, because the Witcher one had a whole different skill tree too, I think, if you had it.
Oh, people do like what order you should do them in.
Yeah, people have shit for everything like that.
I mean, I don't know. I fucking hate people. I don't. Ugh.
Sometimes it's helpful. That's how I was able to do fucking Demon Souls, man. I tried to play Demon Souls. I got my ass kicked. Then I'm like, what is going on? They're like, oh yeah, don't go straight. This is you can edit this, but they're like, go to 2-1 and then 3-1 and kill 2-2. Like, I see. And I should grind in 4-1 because that's where I got it. Cool.
Fair enough. All right. Final words?
Yeah, stop making shitty DLC that's pay to win or just money grabbing.
Microtransactions aren't DLC. Stop trying to charge for different color packs. Nobody cares about the weapon skin and what theme it plays.
I don't know, man. Some people do.
No, I don't care if they do. All right. People also buy fentanyl. So we're not counting on them for good decisions.
Don't buy easy fatality tokens.
Yeah, that too.
It's like 4 buttons, man. Come on.
Also, they're still making Fast and the Furious movies, so
one more. That's what they said.
How long can they keep this man out of the grave?
How long are you going to keep giving them money?
Unbelievable.
How many times will we sell Madden?
Madden is a perfect example of a game that should only be DLC.
Okay, I arbitrary amount of time here. I'm going to say every 3 years they should make a new one.
3 years?
Yeah. I feel like enough time has changed where you could really change, who's on who, add the new characters, whatever. But do you really care year to year who the rookies are?
The people do.
That's true.
And if you're really being pedantic about it, plenty of games update engines and everything all the time. So they wouldn't even have to do a new launch like that. They could do one every year. Or if they just jump ahead to, Unreal 5, you don't even have to bother.
Make a new thing of everything every couple months if we wanted to, but is it necessary?
No, it's not necessary, but it's I don't know what the revenue of Madden is, but it's fucking colossal.
It is. I just found fruit snacks. I'm happy.
Man of simple pleasures.
That should be the end.
That is the end. Well, that does it. Madam Secretary, take care of the rest.
Calamity. Travesty. Surviving staff. The board meetings have concluded. It is now safe to resume normal work functions. Hazard signs will be placed at all biological spill sites. Watch your step. The injured will be humanely recycled into vegan lunch options for underprivileged, inner-city children. This is a green company, after all. There will be Fig Newtons and Crystal Light in the break room for those allowed breaks. It's a long one. 3 minutes for each of you. And don't touch my apple slices. Honey Crisp. Find joy where you can. The next board meetings will be soon. God remains dead, and we have killed him.